What's up guys, welcome back to Seize the Speed for another special review, and today to the right side of me we have this beautiful 2026 Genesis GV70 Sport Prestige all-wheel drive. Let's get into it. So the Genesis GV70 is a small compact SUV from the Genesis luxury brand that is a offshoot of Hyundai, but they do offer a much more premium product, of course. This goes against some big name rivals like the Mercedes GLC and the BMW X3, X4, what have you. And well, let's see if it brings the heat. And right away, the styling of the Genesis with this complex hexagonal grille that we have looks absolutely stunning. You can see the Genesis emblem on the hood looking absolutely stunning. Also, look at these headlights. I am a big fan of what these headlights look like. You can see the individual little LEDs inside, both rows of them, of course, and then you have a panel that's body color that goes in between. Very elegant and simple style on the front end of the Genesis, and the design language lately is really just baking in with these cars. Look at these wheels, simple 5-spoke yet very elegant with a lot of Texas dirt on it, because we're here actually for a truck event. But hey, we thought we actually show you guys this Genesis for a little bit. We have Michelins on this one, so we have 21-inch wheels on the GV80 Sport Prestige over here. And this blue color is actually at a $600 option and has lots of complexity and lots of flakes to it. Let's go ahead and look at the side profile of the Genesis. I really like the sloping roof on the GV70. This chrome line that comes from above the two windows and ends up going underneath your 3/4 glass. I think that's a pretty cool design element. Coming back to this very round, smooth rear end on the GV70, and excuse the Texas dirt again, this car's been driven on some dirt roads today, but still looks very elegant. Genesis spelled out right across the hatch, and we still have the same design element as the headlights, with one row of headlight, then a body color piece, and then another taillight right underneath it. Looks pretty luxurious from the rear end. Of course, this one is the 4-wheel drive, and it is optioned with the better engine option, the 3.5-liter turbo that makes much more power than the 4-cylinder version of this car. Down here we have real exhaust pipes, which is a breath of fresh air to see nowadays, and this diffuser piece that has the hexagonal pattern or the diamond pattern that we saw on the front grille. Let's go and see how much storage space we get inside the hatch of the Genesis GV70. And that's actually a pretty respectable amount of room. Of course, we have a sloping roof on the GV70, so maybe not too well equipped for tall objects, but it is a pretty deep trunk, and those seats do drop with these levers on the side. So if you pull that, you get a flat floor all the way to the front, which is pretty nice. All right, the rear seat of the Genesis GV70, and preface this by saying the interior of this car is absolutely stunning, but we're gonna see more of that here in a little bit. Right away though, you can see these quilted leather seats with the orange stitching on the Sport Prestige. We have orange seat belts even in the rear, which is absolutely phenomenal. I am sitting behind my own seating position at 5'9", so my legroom is a slightly compromised, but this is the smallest or the smaller SUV that Genesis makes, so that is to be expected. Other than that, very comfortable seats, plush, good quality leather. I have plenty of room for my hat, and we've got a panoramic sunroof in this one, so it's impressive to see that headroom is not compromised in the back seat. We do have some pretty well designed rear vents for your rear passengers. We do have our own zone back here actually. That's good to see, and these seats are indeed heated. We have USB-Cs down here and also a household style plug. The carpet in the Genesis is very plush and luxurious feeling, and it's a class above what you're used to seeing as a regular automotive carpet. Let's go ahead and hop in the front seat and show you the rest of this gorgeous interior. All right, and the business end of the Genesis GV70 Sport Prestige, and oh my God, does this interior look absolutely gorgeous. This blue leather is covering every single surface, and if it's not covering it, then you've got materials like this carbon fiber that we have right in the center, and this orange stitching continues into the seats, seat belts, even on the dash, and it looks absolutely beautiful. The steering wheel design on Genesis GV70 is pretty minimalistic, nothing crazy, but just elegant and clean. I like this silver accent piece. The Genesis emblem looks very, very nice and luxurious. You've got some decent quality paddle shifters. They feel nice to the touch. The door panels on this car are actually a design piece that flow into the dash seamlessly. We've got the Bang & Olufsen sound system in this car, of course. It sounds phenomenal. And we even have a little patch of carbon fiber in the doors, so you know what you're sitting in. It's not just a luxury car, but it's a sport prestige. In front of me, we have a 27-inch infinity screen from your gauge cluster all the way into your infotainment, which is pretty impressive. You can see that this is actually a seamless one-piece screen. Wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto going into that Bang & Olufsen sound system. Down here, the climate control is haptic touch feedback, which is a nice feature. At least if you're not going to have physical buttons, we can get some feedback when we touch something and know an action has been done. Down here, this carbon fiber panel, as I mentioned, looks absolutely stunning. Your shifter is covered in this little crystal and very nice to the touch. This controls your screen over here, so if you don't want to put your hands on there when you're driving and be distracted, you can control the screen with this dial over here. And well, I don't know about you, but I am very excited to see what that 3.5 liter V6 twin turbo powertrain does. So without further ado, let's go ahead and put our orange seat belts on, take this thing for a drive. All right, driving the Genesis GV70 Sport Prestige in Sport Plus mode. Like I said, we've been at a truck event all day, so I have not driven anything this fast so far. And that puts a smile on my face. That was fun. Nothing against the 2.5 liter four-cylinder, but this engine is very lively, loads of fun, 375 horsepower, and it sounds really, really good. It is still very refined, very minimal sound enters the cabin in this car, even in Sport Plus. So it still has that luxury aspect to it, very, very minimal road noise in this car. But hey, when you want it, it's there, and it sounds pretty good. Sport Plus mode even tightens up your steering. The car actually wakes up a lot, but now we're gonna go ahead and put it back into comfort mode and just drive it like you would to the grocery store. Wow, it is absolute lap of luxury. These seats are super comfortable. I could daily drive this car in a heartbeat. And well, for the price, you wouldn't expect any less from Genesis. This vehicle, as equipped, has an MSRP of $72,000 for the Sport Prestige, of course, but you can get the GV70 much lower MSRP if you do decide that you would like the four-cylinder. And honestly, that is all well, because you can still get that car with these options and this fantastic interior, all the 360 cameras. You can equip these cars with some wild stuff, and even with some crazy color choices. You can even have orange seat belts. I mean, that's a pretty cool configuration. The fuel economy in the GV70 for having a twin turbo V6 engine is not actually too bad. It is going to be 18 city, 25 highway for a combined 21 miles to the gallon. But hey, if you're buying something like this, do you really care about that? Here's what a key looks like to the Genesis. It's actually a pretty good looking key fob. The buttons are on the side, and like some of the other Genesis Hyundai models, you can actually summon this out of a parking spot with a key. And of course, this one is equipped with the bird's eye view and all the camera systems. It does have a feature that shows you your blind spot using the cameras under the mirrors. Super cool safety feature, good on Genesis and Hyundai for incorporating that. But with that, those are all my thoughts on the Genesis GV70. I would like to hear from you guys now. What else are you looking at if you're in the market for a midsize or smaller luxury SUV? Is the GV70 in your shopping cart, and what else is in your shopping cart? Leave your thoughts down in the comments below. I'm really curious to hear them, and we'll have a good discussion about them. Smash that thumbs up button if you haven't already, and subscribe for more badass reviews like this one. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great day. Peace out, and I'm out.